Alright, welcome back to video 4 of our little op training video set, and hopefully we could finish this up in this video. I might end up having to do a 5th video, but that 5th video will most likely be talking about my server specifically, what I kind of expect of you as an operator. We'll see. So anyways, let's go ahead and get back to this. This actually, I was just flying around here. This is one of our maps here. This is a experience builder map on our server, just showing off some of the more cool builds that we have on our server. Definitely by far not the coolest builds, but you know, they're neat nonetheless. So let's go back to our op training map. So last thing we were talking about was physics, and I briefly kind of made a little pool of active water, but we need to talk a little bit more about this. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out a something a little bit more so that we can kind of, oops, let's go ahead and, I just want to get down there, all right? Huh. Alright, so I just wanted to clear out a little bit more space so we can kind of play around with this a little bit. And we're going to probably do Z dirt and make kind of a little bit of a, oops, barrier. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and put some active water in these guys. So let's do active water, and the best way to do this, never ever do active blocks with a cuboid command. Always make sure that you're doing it by placing a single block. And so let's go ahead and place some water, and I just did active water, so this won't actually kill you, and as you can see, it's filling up this whole area with active water. Now, definitely, if you're going to be doing active water across an entire map, you want to make sure the map is smaller, and survival is a good example. It's a little bit smaller than these maps, or at least it should be. Last time I checked, it was pretty small. 128 by 128 by 128 is what I'm talking about. That's really about the maximum that you want to do any kind of big, massive active water. So let's go ahead and do lava. We're going to do active lava. Oops. And active lava is much slower. It definitely spreads. I didn't change physics or anything like that. It's just a really slow block to use. So you know, hey, cool. We're putting active lava on there. Now, there's some other cool active blocks, and a lot of them I have kind of changed so you can't use all of them, and I'm not sure which ones you can and can't use, but we have a mode called finite, and finite will basically, even though it doesn't visually represent the change in the server, think of basically making each of these blocks much smaller, and I think it cuts it into 4 slices. So the finite blocks can kind of squeeze through holes, and they act a little bit differently than what you'd normally see. So let's see if I can do a good example of this. I'm going to do abort. You're going to end up using abort quite a bit. When you're playing these games here. What I'm going to do is see if I could do a faucet, or let's see if I could just do it this way. Map. There we go. So the map turned finite mode on, and what this basically means is that let's see if I can make an example. Usually it means if I put bunch of holes in there, you're going to see those are actually air bubbles popping up to the surface as it fills that hole. So let's go ahead and see if I can get this to do what I want. So you can see as the water is falling down that hole, so the blocks just act differently. You can almost create a whirlpool type scenario if you do it right, by making like maybe an hourglass, if you can imagine an hourglass type thing where you have all the water up top and then you just have a single hole for it to go down the below. That would create a pretty cool effect, and all that water would go straight down that hole and fill up the bottom section. And you know, it just creates a pretty cool effect. But finite is another thing to be very careful with. You don't want to mess with it too much unless you know what you're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do map finite, and that should turn off the finite mode, and then the water behaves like it should normally. So anyways, let's go ahead and play with some sharks. And you know what, I'm going to do? Abort. It's always good to get into the habit of using the abort command, because a lot of the times you'll still have an active command. Maybe it's paste, maybe it's active cold water, and it really sucks when you go to another map that also happens to have physics on, and you try to place a block on the surface and you still have active water on, and it starts to flood the entire map. If that ever happens, the very first thing you should do as soon as you realize you've made that mistake is do physics 0. Turn that physics off as soon as you can, and then usually what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do replace all active water air. And I know I don't have that many active water blocks right now, so that kind of fixes it. And you know, that will repair any damage. If you're on another map, most of the time active water shouldn't be there anyways, so it's not really that bad to replace it all. And if you want to be sure that you're not replacing somebody's like active water in their base, or you want to keep their stuff looking the same, you might do replace all active water with just water, normal water, and you know, then just go fix your mistake by hand. So anyways, you got active water, active cold water, active lava. There's water faucet. There's waterfall. There's a whole slew of active blocks out there. Zombie, lava shark, shark dove. You know, there's just tons of them, and you can go ahead and just Google the best way to go. And I don't think MCForge has got a wiki page yet, but if you Google MCLawl, so MCLAWL, you should be able to find their wiki page that lists off most of the commands that are on that server software, which is, by the way, the same kind of software I use. I use the newest version, which is MCForge, but you get the idea. So let's see what else I have on my list to talk about. I think we've covered most everything. Yeah, TNT. Well, TNT, I'll just show you, just because it's kind of cool. TNT. Here it is. It's a block of TNT. And I turned physics off, so let's go and turn it on. And you do need physics 3 in order to see this, but you can see it will explode. That's big TNT. So you can kind of go crazy with it, and it will do some pretty nasty damage. TNT you can get away with doing a cuboid with. Just be a little bit careful. So we might do, let's do Z TNT random, or holes. That might be the best. So first block, second block. There's all our TNT, and we're going to go ahead and set it off. So you don't want to go too crazy with this stuff, or you're going to crash the server. But you can have some fun. Obviously, you don't want to make a huge cube of 30,000 TNT blocks. This is 320 blocks right here, and you can see how long it takes to kind of work its way through it. If I do Physics 4, which is the next level, it's instant. So let's do that again and see the difference. Oops. Let's go. And we'll set these guys off. Whoa. It's much, much quicker. It'll go through the entire row of TNT much faster. And that's the difference between Physics 3 and 4. Physics 4, basically there is no lag time. It just goes as soon as it can. And often you end up blowing yourself up when you place the TNT because you have to be very, very quick to not get blown up. Anyways, I think this is pretty much it. I think I've covered most of the commands that you need to do. This is probably where you want to stop watching if you're just somebody that doesn't normally play on my server or is not interested in being an operator on my particular server. If you are just trying to learn commands, this is pretty much the end of it. The next video, if I make it this today, will be talking about what I expect of operators on my server particularly. And so may not be as interesting for you guys to watch. But hope you enjoyed it. I think we ended up with, what, 4 or 5 videos? I think it's 4 videos. So hopefully we covered everything that you need to know to be an operator. Yeah, I might add a little bit more later that just talks about, real world, like just what it's like to be an operator. And I might record some actual live video of kind of how I go about my day in fixing stuff. So thanks for watching. vapidflats.com if you want to join our server. Usually we go ahead and post the URL. Also, if you just go to the minecraft.net website and just do Control F and then type in Vapid Flats, you're going to find us. It will find the text for our server in that list. Also, if you're using World of Minecraft, we're near the top of the list. As you can see, I've got my server name up there in the top right hand corner of this video. So anyways, thanks for watching.